Welcome to Mindset Mondays. So, if you're looking to grow in your career and get promoted faster, then this video is for you. I will be sharing 4 really powerful communication strategies that you will help you stand out, gain trust, and advance quickly. Now, make no mistake, hard work is essential, but effective communication is what makes you promotion ready. So, let's dive in. Now, the number one thing is communicate with clarity. So, leaders, managers, whoever it is on above, as you go up the corporate ladder, they really appreciate concise communication because it saves time. Now, in today's fast paced world, people have really short attention spans, and in that short time span, you need to convey the information, that too clearly. So, avoid jargon and overly complex language and get straight to the point while you back it up with key details. So, being able to deliver your ideas clearly is a pretty critical skill. Now, for example, instead of saying, I have been thinking about some changes that might improve, you could end up saying, I would recommend that we implement a weekly check-in with the team. So, this not only conveys your message directly, but also shows that you are solution oriented. Now, if I could give you one key tip about this, is that next time you speak or you write or you're sending an email, you're sending a message, ask yourself, what's the main takeaway I want my audience to have? So start with that and then you provide the supporting details. Now we come to number 2, which is speak with confidence. Now, confidence inspires trust and positions you as someone who is capable of taking on greater responsibilities. So, when you present your ideas assertively, you give others the impression, and people perceive you as someone who has given thought to these ideas and who has thought things through, and they believe in what you're saying. This is not to say that you shouldn't think things through, but it doesn't mean, also confidence doesn't mean dominating a conversation or being overtly assertive or just pretending to know things. No, it's about portraying the conviction in your words. So phrases like I recommend or based on my analysis, this is the best course of action. Now demonstrate that you've considered the details and you have a clear direction. Of course, you do need to think things through, but it is important that when you present your ideas, when you present yourself, you do so with confidence. Now, if you're feeling nervous, if you have anxiety related to it, then it is very, very important that you focus on your body language, on your tone, and speak at a steady pace. You need to maintain eye contact and also avoid filler words like maybe. Don't use too much of them. So one key tip when it comes to being confident while speaking would be practice whatever it is that you want to say to somebody who you trust and who you feel safe with. It could be a colleague, a family member, or a friend, so that you can build your confidence in low pressure settings before moving on to the event or to a scenario where it's pretty high pressure. Okay, coming on to number 3. The most underrated aspect of communication is active listening, and mastering active listening is our point number 3. Now, listening is key because it builds trust, it improves relationships. And why does it do that? Because it helps you understand the needs of others. So, active listening means much more than just hearing the words. It means fully understanding and engaging with the speaker, paying attention to their tone, to their body language, to the context, to everything what they are saying. It's being present there. So for instance, when a colleague or a subordinate or your boss, they share a concern or an idea, instead of jumping in with advice, instead of just starting with recommendations or suggestions or just proposing solutions, try and reiterate, try and paraphrase and say, so what I hear that you're saying is this. So could you elaborate on that? This shows that you're paying attention and you value their input. So allowing them to expand on their idea, to expand on their concern. So by doing this, one, you will understand exactly what their needs are, and then you can tailor your responses geared towards those needs. And it makes your communication way more impactful. Also, active listening does revolve pretty predominantly around non-verbal cues. So it's not about what the other person is saying. It's also about how they are behaving, what's their body language. So whether or not they are maintaining eye contact, and you have to do that for sure. You have to show genuine interest in what they are saying. And this goes a long way in strengthening relationships. So if there is one key point that I could give you in this aspect, would be to summarize whatever the speaker has said before responding, to ensure that you've understood correctly. And what it does, it also makes the other person feel heard, and in case there is something that you've misunderstood or you've gotten the details wrong, it gives the other person to correct you, to clarify it, so you know exactly what to say and how to say. Okay, coming on to the last point, leveraging feedback for growth. Now, feedback is one of the most underutilized tools when it comes to career growth. It is not really easy to accept feedback, especially when it's negative, and even more difficult to implement it. So, on the other hand, asking for feedback not only shows that you're open to learning, but it also demonstrates to the people around you, to the leaders, to your bosses, to the higher ups, that you are concerned, that you are serious about improving, and that you don't feel threatened, because almost a majority of us tend to take feedback personally. We get defensive, we think it's an attack on us as a person, and then the growth stops, because that's when the emotional and the mental barriers come up and we stop learning. We stop listening even. So let's not do that. So when you're seeking feedback, be specific. Instead of saying, do you have any feedback for me? Can you tell me how do you feel how I handled this project, or how I handled the team presentation this week? So this kind of gives a better way for the other party to respond with constructive feedback. Also, once you receive feedback, the next step that becomes even more important is to apply it. Just getting feedback and not applying it absolutely does not make sense, and sooner or later the other person is going to realize that you're just seeking feedback for namesake, and there is no actual work that gets done based on that. So if somebody suggests anything improving about your presentation, about your communication, then make sure that you take some actionable steps, like try and improve on your presentation, try and enroll for a course, or find people, or find a coach, or find something. Try and look for actionable steps. Also, when what happens is, after you take the feedback and you're trying to implement it, and you're learning and you're growing as a person, the people around you, your colleagues, your subordinates, your juniors, your bosses, they will see that you're trying to implement their advice. So it solidifies your reputation as someone who's coachable, who's committed to growth. And trust me, when people see someone who's coachable, who is willing to learn, who is willing to leverage feedback, then definitely they are destined to climb the corporate ladder way faster than anybody else. Now, a key tip when it comes to this is make sure that you follow up with the person who gave you the feedback. So you share with them when they gave you the feedback what all actionable tips you've taken, what all you have changed, and show appreciation for and also keep the lines of communication open. And those are the 4 tips. Now, getting promoted faster is not just about skills or talent. A lot of people, way more people are talented. A lot of people are very, very skilled at their work. It's about, in fact, that doesn't really help. It's about how you communicate. So be clear, be confident, and be growth oriented. Make sure that you listen to the other person, be present when the other person is talking. And thank you for joining me for Mindset Mondays. And if you found the video helpful, do consider subscribing, and thank you for being here.